what's going on, though, shit gang? It's your boy Darrnell Bradley back at y'all. Today we got this interview with the one, the only, the man, the wrestler, the rapper, the Kevin Bennett. What's going on, man?
What's going on, my man? I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you on. I'm glad we was able to get you on the channel, talk to you a little bit, questions and whatnot. I haven't done an interview in a minute, so I apologize if I seem shoddy.
You're good, man.
But I usually get my interview started with the same general question, like, how did you find music? Like, where did that come into your life?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, honestly. It was pretty much uh like wrestling and music pretty much came into my life at the same time, and it's really weird just kind of how they um intertwined with each other, I guess. Um, because I mean, if we just want to talk about the music aspect, I always looked up to my older brother, who was a big hip hop fan. He
Mm,
loved, you know, the classics, like Tupac, Biggie, DMX, like all those guys. So
yeah.
I always looked up to him and always just loved the things that he loved, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. We'd be like riding around in his car, bumping music, rap music and stuff. But one day he ended up showing me it was a CD that he had. It was just like a burnt CD, but it ended up being a CD that his friends were on, and
Mm.
I didn't understand like what he meant by that. He's like, "Yeah, my friends, they're rappers," and I was like, "You can make your own music?" Like, what? I'm like seven, yeah, like 7 years old. You know what I mean? So I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little kid, but yeah. So he put it in. It sounded amazing to me. This is years and years ago, so
Yeah.
obviously the quality isn't the best, and um, but I thought it was insane. I never knew you could actually like burn your own CD of your own music. So and it's funny because one of the guys actually that was on that CD, which his name's Nicky Trax.
Ah, Nikki.
Yeah, Nicky. Yeah, he was on that CD. So he's actually um one of my older brother's best friends. So
Oh, okay.
Nicky Trax is actually like the main reason that I ever really started rapping.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
And Nikki's
So
ill.
so exactly, yeah. So he was like in a rap group. They were called 187 Thugs back in the day. And and I thought it was the coolest thing, dude. So like, I mean, I've always been just kind of uh like a creative kid. I always like to draw. I always like to make
Oh,
things
your video
myself.
paused out.
And that was just
Oh,
one
it
of the
did. All
things
right.
that I really wanted to try was make my own music. Yeah, so I wanted to try to make my own music. I had like those little keyboards, like toy keyboards and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, and that's when I ended up becoming a wrestling fan too. And the one thing that really stood out to me about pro wrestling, was just like the theme songs. I loved the theme songs and the entrances. I wanted to like make my own theme song.
Mm-hmm.
One day when I become a professional wrestler, like I was just so infatuated with music in general and just entertainment, So that's pretty much where it started, man. Like thanks to Nicky Trax for like putting me on this this hip hop stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, man.
uh but yeah, that's where it started, man. Just pretty much as a little kid, 7 years old, who was super curious about how to make your own music, and then I just never gave it up ever since.
That's dope. That's dope. I didn't like. I knew that you and Nikki, like, y'all did music. If it seemed like y'all had a correlation with each other, I ain't know it was like that. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, it's if not for him, I don't think that I'd be making music today.
Okay, like from because, like we said, you do the wrestling. You do the wrestling. How
Yeah.
did? Cause you said I didn't know if I caught you before your video cut out for a second. Did you say the wrestling and rapping started at the same time?
Yeah, I pretty much became a fan of hip hop and wrestling at the same time.
Oh, okay. All right. So how has that been moving in like both of those circles? Like is there any like correlating members between your rap and your wrestling, or is it just you doing it like that?
Yeah, so I mean, both both are forms of entertainment, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they pretty much have gone hand in hand with me over the years. I actually try to kind of keep them separate over the years until probably just a couple years ago, as to where I really started to embrace the um, music with pro wrestling, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For some reason I felt like two different people for the longest time. Like I just music was one thing, and then professional wrestling was another thing. But I've learned to notice that obviously they go both hand in hand, because I
Mm-hmm.
remember the first time I was doing hip hop shows with Nikki. Like I've already been wrestling for a couple of years by the time I started doing live shows, music shows, and like the first time we ever got in front of a crowd doing a set for like a bunch of our songs, I already knew that feeling of like being in front of a crowd. So like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it just helped.
Was that energy like
Uh,
different crowd wise from like a rapping show to like a wrestling event?
yeah, I mean it's a little bit different, yeah, because I guess it depends. Like I've wrestled in front of thousands and thousands of people, and then I've wrestled in front of maybe 10 people, and I mean, probably the most I've ever really performed in front of is at like a music show might have been like just a couple hundred people. But uh, for some reason, for me, I don't know what it is. I feel like the more people that I'm in front of, the better I do, and I
Well,
don't know why.
well, I think honestly with me, I think it's a I don't know. Some people are different, but for me, it's like it's a pressure thing. It's like they're there, so you want to show out.
Exactly, yeah. But it's like you put me in front of like three people, then it's like, oh my God, I'm like
It's like what?
I don't. It's weird, man. It's like this weird mental thing,
Mm,
but yeah, definitely like music shows and wrestling shows. They're a little bit different. I mean, it's still performing in front of a crowd, but I guess I mean it's been a while since I've actually done a hip hop show. But from what I remember, it was very. I mean, it's live entertainment, so it's like it's very intimate, with the people that you're performing in front of. Um, but it's just it's two different things at the same time,
yeah, yeah.
because one, it's like you're kind of getting beat up and you're beating up another person, and then the other thing, like you're just on a microphone, like
Yeah, one.
uh
It's like they both have energy, but different kinds of energy.
exactly, yeah. So I mean, it's really hard to compare, but it's like they're still in the same bubble,
Yeah, yeah.
essentially.
As far as entertainment, like you were saying.
Exactly. Because yeah, I've had days where like I remember this is one of the craziest days of my life actually. I remember I went to a pro wrestling show. I opened up on the show. I think I was like a champion at the time, so I was defending a title against this TV star, and I think there was over like 1,000 people at this show. I remember I beat him. I beat him, retained the title, and literally had a half hour to get to a hip hop show that I was opening up for. I was opening up for Chris Webby. Do you remember him?
Yes.
Have you ever
Oh,
heard of him?
yeah. I've heard of Chris Webby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, so like I had this match literally right afterwards, didn't even get out of my wrestling gear, jumped in my car, um, yeah, went to downtown Buffalo, and I think I had 5 minutes to spare by the time I got in the building, and that was one of the shows I did with Nikki too.
Mm.
So like I got in there and they just literally handed me the microphone. I got on stage and then we rocked that crowd, man. It was
Nice.
crazy. I was like, damn, I cannot believe I did that. So it's stressful, but I mean, if you can make it work, then it's pretty rewarding.
How were you on your first show? Like when you were first in front of those people, you had the mic in your hand. Like,
I I forget what year it was. It might have been like 2011, 2012. I think I had my first hip hop show. Um, I don't know, man. Actually, I remember the energy in the building was actually so. high. Like all the people there were there to have a really good time and really wanted to hear all the music that was there. So it was like I feel like the energy from all the people that were there definitely made like kind of settled the nerves a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was like we were just all in it together to just like
Yeah.
have a really good time and you know, so the pressure wasn't really all too there. And obviously since I've had the wrestling experience, it was like
Okay.
I'm cool with being in front of a crowd, but uh, yeah, I mean, I've had plenty shows where it was just like, all right, this is really nerve wracking, and we're
Yeah.
super nervous, and I hope I remember all my lyrics, you know, type of stuff. Because I've had some terrible shows, man. Like I've had some, yeah, not so good ones, but luckily the first show ever, man, we knocked it out of the park, and it was a really good time.
Nice, nice, nice. Like, it doesn't surprise me when you say you knocked it out of the park because lyrically you're a damn machine.
I
Like,
appreciate it, man.
oh no, man, you see my reactions to your shit, especially the stuff you did with Zach too. Like y'all wrote the beats very, very nice. Like I wasn't exaggerating in my reactions to those.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah,
Oh
your
man.
reactions are really good too. I like how you know, you actually break down people's lines, and uh, I would say that you and Screwface are probably the only guys that actually like, you know, really go that deep into to very simple lines too. Like you, word for word, you know, you guys really dive deep into it, and I really respect that. It's really cool you guys do that.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, nah. It's within like you don't within nerdcore and just reacting to music before like because when I first started my channel wasn't nerdcore. It just evolved into that. Like I've learned a
Right.
lot. I've learned a lot lyrically from all of y'all. And that's bringing me to the first time I heard you, which I didn't. When I heard this, and then I found out about you, and I didn't know y'all was it was the same thing. It was the Luigi rap that you did for Mash, the Waluigi one.
Yeah.
Like when I had reacted to that, I didn't know it was you, and then later on I found it out, and I was like, "Yep, thought it was sick then, thought it was sick there." Like that was crazy. But how was it doing this last project for Mash with the Sonic thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really fun actually. I'm currently finishing up the second part right now.
Mm,
So I think it's going to be either a three-part series or four. I think they might have mentioned four. I really like working with them. It's obviously really cool to see all of your work like
well,
in
yeah, just
animation
like how
form.
they
Like
go
that's
over your
never
lyrics is insane.
It's crazy, yeah, because like obviously, because people have always asked me that. They're like, so are you like writing to the animation or like how does that work? But really, it starts out with the song and the story, you know, and then they animate over it.
Hmm.
So like, yeah, the first time that I saw the Waluigi tracks, I was like blown away. Like it was so cool.
Yeah, no,
Because
that
when they
was.
approached me about the project, they're like, hey, do you like Super Smash Brothers? And I'm like, dude, that's like one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games of all time. So, because originally they found me because of the Pokemon rap that I did a couple years ago.
Mhm.
It was just like a Pokemon rap where I list off all 151 first generation Pokemon like in order, and
Oh,
I just like I don't know if you've seen it, but it's
I
like
haven't. I
six
know I
minutes
haven't
or
seen the whole
5 or
thing. I know
six
I've seen
minutes.
parts of it.
Yeah, so I guess they liked it, and they I guess they said that they could picture me as the guy pretty much narrating this Waluigi trilogy. So I was all about it, you know.
Bro,
And
I think I said in mine, and I think Screw said in his, and that's also where the Zach comparison comes in because you and him, like your narrative writing styles are amazing.
thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I just try to be as like descriptive as possible, just without being like bland, I guess. Like I try to make my lyrics as like vivid as possible,
Hmm.
just to, you know, to really like put a picture in somebody's mind. So rather than just saying something so straightforward and basic, I'd rather
Yeah,
like use a couple different like words that mean the same thing, but like maybe words that aren't used regularly. I don't know.
yeah.
It's hard to explain,
It's
but you
going
know
to
what
the
I'm
lyrical
saying. Like,
toolbox and
uh,
pulling some things out. You know, make it a little tantalizing to the ears. Make them think about it. I like it.
exactly.
But one question as far as like artists just in general on YouTube and people out there doing stuff and the shows and whatnot. How did COVID like impact the wrestling and the rapping and things like that?
So, okay, so this August will be my 11th year of being a professional wrestler. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've 11 years is a long time.
Yeah.
So, um, I mean, I've been wrestling for quite a bit, and there was a big portion of time as where wrestling wasn't really. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I wasn't like progressing in it or anything, but doing it repetitively for so long, things get stale after a
Mm-hmm.
little while. And you have to switch things up. You have to like rebrand yourself. You have to just do things different. So it's not like going through the motions.
Yeah, just keeping it fresh.
But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of how I ended up feeling for a little bit in wrestling. I was just kind of like, um, I wouldn't say not putting too much effort into the craft, but yeah, I guess just kind of like going through the motions and just kind of like getting to the next show to like hopefully land like a job or a contract or something, but not really putting like everything into it. And I think that's just because of the repetitiveness and just for how long I've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But the pandemic hit, and wrestling was gone. Like
Yeah.
literally no shows, no nothing. I think WWE might have been like the only thing that was going on, but that's just because they're WWE, and I'm sure
Yeah.
they have their loopholes, and uh, they could still do their weekly television. But yeah, as far as independent wrestling and anything like that, it was pretty much gone for everybody. And the way that I looked at it was, um, I kind of needed this one for my body, just because I mean, every weekend, I mean, whether it be training or weightlifting, just constant like abuse to the body.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good. I'm not hurt or anything like, but I mean, it's probably good to maybe like give your body just a little bit of a rest because they say that taking a bump in a wrestling ring is like getting hit by a car at what is it? I think I don't know if it's like 10 to 15
Damn.
miles per hour. I forgot what the scientifics are.
I mean, I
It's
seen you do
basically
a
like
front
getting in
flip
a car
out of
accident
your
every
truck
time that
into a
you hit,
table.
just like the way that your body absorbs the impact. Yeah, right. So, but it's like I can do that stuff just because my body has like built a tolerance to this kind of stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know how to land. I know how to take care of myself without getting seriously injured. But still, like regardless, your body is still absorbing impact. Like
Yeah.
it's not meant to do that. Like so over a
Yeah.
long period of time, I'm sure that your body just kind of it's like a wear and tear kind of thing. Luckily, I'm not at that point, but this pandemic was just like a little bit of a breather for me, and
Yeah.
not just physically, but also mentally, because I'm like, all right, I can just kind of, yeah, take a minute. Like, I have a 2.5-year-old baby as well. Like, I was just leaving every weekend, and I work a normal job too during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, plus, plus with, weight training, just ring training to do music. It's just I don't really have time. So it's like this pandemic just really slowed things down for a minute, and it was nice. It was like I'm with my family every day,
Mm-hmm.
not really having to stress about traveling with wrestling and whatever. But then it was just like something clicked in my brain where it was to like where it was telling me like, hey, you have time now to like really grind out doing music because you can be home when you're doing that, and like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
there's a lot of beneficial things because like if we can't be out anywhere in public, like we can't be marketing ourselves at wrestling shows or wherever,
Yep.
you're gonna have to do it from home. You have the internet, you have social media. Like what we might as well take advantage of this time and put some
Mm-hmm.
content out, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, one
And
hundred
like
percent.
Yeah, and that was the thing about wrestling though, is that I it didn't give me too much time with uh for music. So
Hmm.
it's like my character in wrestling is being a rapper. So we want to call it a character, a
Yeah.
persona. That that is me. Like everybody knows that I make music, that I produce it all myself. Um, but I wasn't really making it as much as I probably should have been, because it's
Hmm.
really hard to balance these
Yeah, you
two
got a lot
things, you
going
know?
on.
Exactly. So once this happened, dude, I was like, just the word consistency has just been in the back of my head ever since for as long as I can remember, really.
Hmm.
Like that's just one of the number one ways of being successful in anything, whether it be going to the gym and, um, gaining muscle, getting jacked. Like you need consistency. You're not going to get jacked if you're not in the gym every day.
100.
So, so, I mean, I've always wanted to be successful at YouTube as well. Just because like I've always loved being on YouTube. I've loved everything about it, just making videos and things like that. So I was like, let's try to let's try
Yeah.
to make a song every week. Let's try to put a video out every week and see what we can do. See if we can um, build our fan base, build like give myself more value. I guess for when wrestling comes back, then I'll be more valuable
Yeah.
to people um, by the end of this whole thing. And that's exactly what started happening, man. Like, um, I pretty much have been adopted into this nerdcore scene just because of these Waluigi projects.
Hmm.
And so many more opportunities have come my way just by being consistent and like making a song per week and not letting anything else get in the way. Like, it just, I, I, I have to have a video and song up every Friday, or at least every other Friday, just because I mean, you know how editing is and stuff, dude. Like it's not
Yeah.
easy.
I try to outsource as
Just
much as I
depending.
can.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, it's not easy, but it's a grind, and
Yeah,
it's very
100.
rewarding when you do it right. And that's what I feel like I got to do during this whole pandemic, is just kind of um, just be present, and show people that, like, this is what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep making music. And um, luckily, man, like I got to really build a pretty good stable fan base now.
Oh
Like
yeah.
now there's people that are consistently listening to my stuff all the time. Like there's money in it. Like
Hmm.
this is the best my music career has ever been in my entire life, just because of this pandemic. So it's like I don't want to say that this pandemic is good, because it's not at all. But if you want to look at pros and cons out of things, like the pros in this for me, I feel like I needed something like this to happen in order for me to just take a step back and just be like,
Hmm.
all right, like we just like just to focus, you know what I mean, and just actually like get things going, because I just feel like I was so scatterbrained for a while. Like, all right, I got to do this, I got to go here, I got to, but now it's just like, all right,
Well,
um, and I feel perfect in the music world right now. Like, and things just keep getting better and better. So
but yeah, I
I'm really
mean,
happy.
you definitely making waves. Definitely making waves with your music like that. I don't know what the game was, but it was the mask, the white mask guy. You and Zach were on it.
Shy guy, yeah,
Yeah, shy guy,
shy
shy guy.
guy.
That shit hit. That shit hit. Like you did something with that one. I'm gonna peep the one you got now with Nikki, probably tomorrow.
Yeah, the dry bones one. Yeah, that's a good one too. Um, See, yeah, and that's the thing, like I know not too many people are doing what I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm like I'll be honest, I'm not like the biggest video game guy.
Mm,
Um, Basically only just because I don't really have too much time for it.
yeah.
Obviously, just because of everything that I told you. But I'm like a Nintendo dude for life. Like if we had to pick anything, I just love Nintendo 64. I
Mm-hmm.
love like just that whole Mario series. Like that's just um, I don't know, just nostalgia. Everything about it, like I love, and what I've been doing is I've just been taking these characters, whether they be like really small characters that really have no true significance really to anybody, and just kind of like diving deep into their characters, but like diving deep, and
Yeah.
pretty much pulling out like traits and personalities from their character, and then applying it to my life, and basically just making a song that way. And I feel like the way that people analyze it, they're just like, man, I never really thought that I could like, um, relate to Shy Guy, because
Mm-hmm.
he's not that important of a character in Mario, but he's
Yeah.
like a shy guy. So it's like the way that we played off of that character, like I don't think people really thought anybody would
Well,
dive
yeah,
that
cause
deep
y'all went,
into
yeah,
these
y'all went
characters.
deep.
And
Y'all went deep. Y'all was pulling on strings, man.
exactly. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing now, and I feel like, yeah, people really are just curious, I guess, to see like what I have to say when I pull one of these characters out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been working though, man. They get more popular every time that I drop one. So um, I mean, I'm gonna keep rolling like with the Nintendo themed stuff. Definitely want to dabble in more anime stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely have to start watching more things, because like all I do is really like follow all these anime rappers. Like I love, DPS and
Mm-hmm.
Fable and Rustage, obviously all these guys like Zach. I just love it. I love all the content. Like I'm so glad that I'm a part of the nerdcore community, because it's changed my life. It literally has.
It's doing that.
So
It's
like
doing that for a lot, man. Even like me, I got into YouTube just barely over a year ago. So like, and Nerdcore just completely took over my channel in a very very short amount of time.
exactly, yeah, it's crazy, dude. And I didn't know about it obviously until after like all the Waluigi projects,
Mm-hmm.
because like all those people just kind of, yeah, they just like sucked me into um the whole community that it's way bigger than I ever would have even imagined. So, and like all the people and the supporters like of these nerdcore musicians, they're just so loyal and loving, and it's just so cool, man. Like I'm just so glad to be a part of it,
Yeah,
man.
it's a very, 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 very positive community, man. Like I've having
Yeah.
and on top of that, on top of just how embracing the community is on an artist standpoint, like nowhere else in music do I see grind like this. Like,
No, yeah, it's funny you're saying that, because I was saying that, yeah, like, and there's so many people that I can really relate to, music wise. Like for example, like Daddy Fat Snaps and
mm-hmm,
and Fable and like all these guys, because I never knew too many people that actually um produced everything themselves, recorded it themselves, mixed it themselves, mastered it themselves. Like I've been doing research on how to do that stuff for years, and finally I got to a point where it's like I can, or I'm decent at it, So to
mm-hmm.
see all these other artists doing the same exact thing, like it's really cool to see, because I don't know too many people like that just in music in general, But then I come over to this like
Yep.
nerdcore community, and all
And
these guys,
everybody
dude, are
popping
just,
off with their lives and the music and
yeah, it's crazy, man. And yes, the consistency. Everybody's making music like constantly, so it's like there's never a drought of content
no,
ever.
no. Every weekend, Nerdcore loses its freaking mind.
Bro, it's nuts, because you know how many like local rappers I know around here that like, think that they're gonna make it or blow up or whatever, but it's like these guys are making like a song per month or a
Mm-hmm.
song every 2 months,
I know exactly what you're
or
talking
like
about.
a,
I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
putting their money where they shouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, it blows my mind, dude. So it's like, and just to see everybody's success, in the nerdcore community too. I thought I saw a couple. I forgot who said it. It might have been Fable or something. I think he like bought a Tesla off his music. I'm like, God damn, dude,
Yeah,
like,
we
you know,
they doing some other type shit on up there. They are, man. They are. Especially when I be looking at the studio gear that be coming out of this month. Like I'll go to Amazon just to look, just to cry at the price, just to cry at it. And I'm like,
yeah, it's crazy, dude. But but that's what happens though when
mm-hmm,
you're consistent and like
definitely,
you find what works.
it's all within
And
grasp.
yeah, it's very rewarding. So like that's why I'm just so happy to like be where I'm at right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the biggest artist, on YouTube, but it's like it's slowly building,
Mm-hmm. You know
and
what's
my
coming.
name gets bigger every day.
You know what's coming.
Exactly.
You know what's coming. Just
So
as long as the consistency stays and the movement stays, like you know what's coming.
exactly. So I'm excited about the future, man. Like it's looking good.
Oh heck yeah! And this is with and like how you were talking about Fast Snaps, because as far as like artists in the nerdcore community, among the bigger ones like that, Fast Snaps is my biggest inspiration just because of the position he's in as far as music and like you, I can relate to you and him in a sense of mixing, mastering, doing all that stuff yourself, and also having a family. Like that's I feel like balance, that kind of balance
Ex-
is very 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 key. So when I look at artists like you and I look at artists like Fast Taps, it kind of lets me know that it's possible. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, no, it's true, man. Yeah, and it feels really good to yeah, be able to do this type of stuff because like he's definitely taking care of his family like with
Oh,
the
100,
money that he
100.
exactly, and it feels good to have pretty much done the same,
Mhm.
for my daughter. Um, I'm not like rich, yet. Like I'm not
Yeah,
making
yeah.
hundreds
Definitely
and
make sure
thousands
you
of
put that yet
dollars.
there. Put that yet there. All of us gonna put that yet there.
Exactly. But that's the goal. Like I think that's where I picture myself in life is definitely just to be um financially stable,
Mhm.
obviously, like independently doing what we love, but
Mhm.
and taking care of the people we love too. So
100.
yeah, 100%. That's another reason I like DPS as well because I see him on Twitter, posting a bunch of pictures
Uh
of
huh.
his kid, and
Yeah.
he's in the studio constantly. Like it's just yeah, it sounds like the perfect life. You know what I mean?
But there,
So
even within those pictures of him and Fable, whatever, posting about the DPS with his kid and Fable about the Tesla and things like that, it's like drawing inspiration from those moments is just like okay, like it reaffirms shit. If anybody was ever like doubting, you know what I mean?
oh,
Even in
100%.
themselves, like
Yeah.
it just kind of like just like lets some motherfuckers know like yo, this is happening, and I feel like nerdcore is really, really, really about to blow the top off of some mainstream shit here exceedingly soon. Anime rap in specific, because nerdcore just within itself is already. But
Of
uh,
course.
I
Yeah.
think it's just about to. Whew. But how you were talking about with the Waluigi stuff and whatever. So like, but the before that, was it just like normal rap? You just did the regular rap.
Yeah, basically, so like so I was in that rap group with Nikki, and it was our other buddy, his name's Johnny Mack. We were called Evident Truth. That was our group
It was
name.
called the what?
It was called Evident Truth.
Evident Truth. Okay.
Yeah, so we were a group, I think, from the year like 2011 to about like 2015. And then things just kind of disbanded, basically just because of life. Like our other buddy Johnny, he ended up like having twins,
Mm-hmm.
and Nikki was getting married, and it's not like we really it's not like we really talked about like disbanding really. It was just to kind of like just happen in a sense, just
Yeah.
because in original songs, and we really wanted to do shows, and we wanted to take it as far as we could because we got really good at like just social media marketing.
Mm-hmm.
This is before Twitter was like pissed off that you would mass follow people. So like we mass followed so many people, man. Like um, I ended up getting to like 110,000 followers on Twitter,
Mm.
but you obviously follow a bunch of people as well,
Yeah.
and but we actually ended up getting a lot of fans and a lot of people that listen to our music. So I feel like we're almost like ahead of our time in a sense with social media, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we just didn't have enough knowledge to keep it going.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I knew what I did what I do now and applied it to then we would have been a little bit more successful. But yeah, we are just making original songs and just like I guess like we would make a lot of songs specifically for live shows that we would end up performing on, like based off of who we'd be like opening up for. We opened up for like 3 6 Mafia once,
Nice.
um, Aaron Carter, which is
Oh
really
wow.
random.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a little. That one is a little right.
yeah. But we tried to take any show that we
Yeah,
could,
100, 100.
when they would contact us. So like kind of after we like the group kind of separated in a sense, then it was like, all right, I have to kind of figure out how to maintain relevancy and just like try to get fans, try to do this music thing still.
Mm-hmm.
And what I tried to do is just like um like remixes, like
Yep.
freestyle type of, things that grab people's
Yeah, yeah.
attention.
No, I got
Like
you.
whatever the hot song of the month was, do a remix on it. And
Yeah.
uh yeah, that's when I was just kind of like in that mindset of just pretty much just trying to do anything where people will click on it rather than just being this guy that just made a new song. Because like, let's face it, like Kevin Bennett, his new song "Party," cool. Like nobody's gonna care, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
if
no,
it's
I got
if
you.
it's
I
something
understand
more
what
out
you're
of the
talking about.
box, like yeah, like Pokemon rap, I mean, people are more likely to click that than just like this guy's new single because everybody's making music. It's
You know what I'm saying?
saturated.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you
difficult to
have
get your
to
stuff out there like that without something to attach it to and things like that. Like I get exactly what you're talking about because no, it's nobody's even gonna know to look for it. Like
exactly, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of where I was at. It was like I was just trying to find something that could help me in a sense. Um, is to just where people would click on my stuff, and
hmm
like that's where I was doing advertisements and um I wasn't even concerned about making my own like original songs. It was just like remixes, uh, things like that would just kind of get eyes on me. And then then nerdcore had happened,
uh-huh.
bro. So like
Hits real hard. Her
so
nerdcore came in
everything
there
just
swinging.
yeah, so everything changed ever since that. So, because now it's like my channel is like a niche channel in a
hmm
sense, but it's like I'm also getting to the point where um, those people that are there for those like, character raps or just people that are coming over from Waluigi or Sonic or whatever, like those people are invested into me now as well. So they'll listen to anything that I put out,
hmm
and I think that's the key to it too. So it's like
It's still because it lets you
um,
maintain a relevant space in music that isn't tied to a nerdcore subject because you do build those fans. Even though I feel like even though they do like what you're rapping about and they're like, ooh, Pokemon or ooh this, like once they hear you, after that it don't matter
exactly.
what you about to rap about.
Exactly. Yeah, because I feel like I have a lot of those fans now that they don't even really think about the characters or anything anymore. It's just
hmm
like in their head like I'm the dude that uh was able to pull off those like epic tracks that they love. You know what I
hmm
mean? So they're here to stay.
Oh yeah.
And they just want to pretty much be here along for the ride and just see what else I have to offer.
Oh yeah,
Whether
definitely.
it be whether it be like a nerdcore track or anything really. So and it's crazy because I have such loyal fans, dude. I don't get like any hate comments. It's crazy. Like
Like I
I've
said,
gotten a bunch of hate comments in my life, and like ever since I've been a part of this community, it's like I don't get any negativity at all, bro. Like
it's an
maybe
embracing
like
community, man.
a couple like thumbs down on the videos, but it's like I feel like you kind of need that for the algorithm anyway.
Yeah, it's just like
But
it's the balance. Everybody just YouTube comes through everybody's video. One down vote. One down. One down.
yeah, yeah. So it's like it's really cool, man. It's really awesome, and I'm thankful for all those people that subscribe to me. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm locked into a position as to where like I have to rap about that kind of stuff
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like yeah to like please anybody really. Like maybe I mean maybe I'm at the point right now where it's like, yeah, I still do kind of have to do that in order to gain, more fans and just keep it growing. But I mean, maybe at one point, I really won't have to worry about that in a sense.
Well, my thing is with the
Um,
nerdcore, like how you said before about when you would make a song about these characters and things like that. Obviously, yeah, they see it's about this character that they like or they know, whatever, whatever, and then they hear it. And like I said, once they hear you, like that's when the fan grabs them. Like you know what I mean? And then it don't matter what
yeah,
you drop, they're gonna listen. I think that when you like say you release a track about a character or an anime, whatever, whatever, and then you see in the comments, oh, I really need to go watch this now. You know, okay, they didn't watch it because of the character. They watched it because you were spitting it, and you just told them some shit that now they're gonna go watch this. Like,
exactly, yeah. Because I mean, to be honest, dude, I think that um, I mean, there's been some tracks that I've done where it's like yes, I'm referencing like this character, but it's almost like it's very minimal. Like
well,
it's
it's yeah,
almost
yeah,
like
yeah.
it,
No,
it could be a legitimate original song. Like you
it
wouldn't be
is
able
one
to
hundred
tell the
percent.
difference.
That's how I
You know
think
what I mean?
your shy guy rap was. To be real,
Exactly, right? Yeah. So it's like I think the only actual reference um, to the game might have even just like the mask,
mm-hmm.
like the mask that the little character wears. But I mean, you can analyze those bars any which way you want. Like introverts, so they wear masks,
One
in
hundred.
everyday life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like
Like
it depends on the way you analyze it.
yeah, I really like tracks like that. I've said it in several reactions where it has that standalone room, and I also like to say that that gives it like Spotify room in a sense of if somebody comes
Oh
across
yeah.
it on Spotify, they don't know Shy Guys, but the song can still relate to them on a personal level, or they can just hear it for a general song because the Shy Guy references are so general, as in they can be applied to Shy Guy or they can be applied to regular life, and so it makes the song more as a whole as far as listener base. And I think that you're one of the artists that can pull that off like really nicely, and that's mad dope.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going for because I don't want to yeah, I don't want to pretty much yeah, like lock myself in a little box here, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? So like you said, Spotify room. Cuz yeah, if somebody does stumble across it like and then they're only hearing these references from the video game,
yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't want to yeah, I don't want to limit myself, I guess. So if everybody can listen to my music, um, then we're good. Like I definitely don't want to limit it to anybody. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, 100. I definitely get you. But with all that, I was gonna ask this question earlier, but I completely spaced it. From when you were rapping and going, when did it turn from just I want to rap to engineer, producer, all this other stuff? Because I'll ask you like within asking that just as a question in the interview, I asked that because like just within me myself, like I've been learning in it for probably I've been trying to do it for like 8 months seriously now. So like just somebody else who has already gone through what I'm currently going through. Like what's your experience with that?
So I think so like I told you earlier, when I was really little, like all I really had was like a keyboard, and like I would it would just have like a little button on the keyboard where it would just like play a drum loop,
Uh huh.
and I would just like write lyrics to myself essentially. Like that's how I would make songs as a kid. But then I ended up getting I think it was like a little it was like a radio from like Radio Shack or something. It was like a just a very cheap um like gray stereo. Um, but it had like the tape cassette in it, so I had
Mm-hmm.
like blank cassette tapes, and I didn't realize that it had like a built-in microphone.
Oh.
So what I would do is I would put these blank cassette tapes in there, hit record, and then just like play on the keyboard. And I don't know music theory either. That's another thing. I
Yeah,
don't
me
know
neither.
like yeah, like it's I don't I think I knew how to read music maybe like in elementary school. Like I played the saxophone for like a year, and I think I knew how to do it then, but I totally forgot.
Mm.
Uh, so that it's just a thing of the past. But But yeah, like that. So that's how I started, dude. Was just like recording on that built-in microphone, and I would listen to these songs that I would record on these cassette tapes. And then I think it was maybe a year or two later. I think I had a computer. I was given a computer, and my mom, she ended up buying me this program, and it was called Hip Hop EJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have been like 10 years old at the time. And this is just like a little software, you put it, it's on a CD-ROM, you install it on your computer, and all it was like you could record, you could record on the software, but you could also make beats on it. But it was pretty much just dragging loops from like the sidebar, and then so you could just drag whatever like drum loop you wanted, and then
Yeah.
the melodies, so very basic. And so I bought a like a $10 microphone from Radio Shack and
Like we all
plugged
been
it into
there.
my computer. Yeah, dude. And this is like before I even really like started Googling things. I think I was like maybe like reading the manual to this software. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like 10 years old. But this is just my drive that I had of just like learning how to do this yourself. And it
Mm-hmm.
had like a burn CD option and everything. So like I ended up burning a CD with my song on it finally. So I was, but this was like a very cheap software. Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah, yeah.
like beginner
Mm.
stuff, you know.
It's getting the
And
flavor, getting the feel.
yeah, exactly. So like once I did that and like burned an actual CD and like brought it out to my mom one time, and then said, "Put this in your radio." Like she put it in and we started playing it. I was like, I made it. I'm
Mm.
10 years old. I'm like, I made it. I'm on a CD. Like this is,
Yeah.
but after that, dude, it was like that's when I discovered Google and YouTube and was pretty much just like researching things. So it was just like one thing at a time. So like, um, uh, I think I started download. I was like downloading beats from LimeWire. You remember
I
LimeWire?
remember LimeWire.
Yeah,
Oh my
I was
lord.
downloading instrumentals. Yeah, I was
Was your
downloading
computer running
instrumentals
okay
from
afterward?
there. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was a big LimeWire guy, man. So
Oh
I'm
man.
pretty sure I like totally damaged that computer. But um but yeah, like I was only dragging in those loops pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really like making your own beats. Um so that was the next thing. Like I ended up meeting a kid in middle school who told me that he could make his own beats, and he showed me Fruity Loops, FL
FL
Studio,
Studio, yeah.
and it just seemed so complicated to me. I was like, how is this guy doing this? Because like he would make like reggaeton stuff,
Mm.
and I was like, man, this is like complex. You're like 12 years old and you're making reggaeton beats, dude. So yeah, so like I downloaded Fruity Loops, and it was too much. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. So I like left it alone. Like I kept rapping and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
over the years, like just on like pre-downloaded beats. But then I think it was about like 15 or 16 years old. I picked up um I picked up Fruity Loops again, and then just Google, YouTube, and I made my first legitimate beat. And like, and it got to the point where it was like I wanted to just make beats. Like I didn't even care about the rapping for a little bit.
Oh.
So like I ended up making a YouTube channel. It was called 8th Ave Beats because I lived on 8th Avenue, and that's where I was making beats. And dude, I got up to like subscribers on YouTube. I
You
was
said how
selling
many?
beats.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
15,000.
Okay.
So yeah, so I made a lot of money on beat sales, dude, over the years. So that was like another one of my dreams where like I wanted to be a legitimate just a beat seller, beat producer, and I was doing it. It was awesome, but then there was still that part of me that still wanted to rap. So like then I ended up getting into GarageBand
Mm-hmm.
for um, for recording, and for some reason I could just never get the right sound that I wanted because I was using presets, and I didn't realize that in order to get like a really good sound, it's like you have to really like do everything yourself. Like
Yeah.
you can't just throw a preset on there and call it a day.
Gotta do your own
So
tweaks.
exactly. So after like, because I was rapping with Nikki at this point when I got into GarageBand. That's when I ended up. I think my grandmother gave me like a couple $1,000 for like a birthday gift or a Christmas gift or something,
Hmm.
and she was always like telling me that she wanted me to get into college and to like do something. So she's like, here, I'm gonna give you this money. You can pretty much like spend it on whatever will like help you, I guess, further your education and like
Yeah.
what you want to do. So I was like, oh my God, I'm definitely gonna spend this on just audio equipment.
Yeah.
So like, so I went to Guitar Center with Nikki, and we looked into microphones, we looked into all this stuff, and Pro Tools was what everybody recommended for
Yeah.
recording. And when I first brought that up, I was looking at it. I'm like, this is like science. Like this is like scientific. Like shit. How am I ever gonna figure this out?
I looked at it the same way, man.
But exactly. But dude, I'm telling you, like I never needed to go to college because I had YouTube and I had Google. So I learned
Facts.
everything from
Everybody,
YouTube,
those are
bro.
facts.
Exactly. Like, and I know so many people that have gone to college for this kind of stuff, and like I I hate to say this, I really hate to say it, but dude, there's people that have degrees in this and know everything. They know like all the mathematics behind all this shit, but they cannot get a clean mix like me. And
Yeah. Talk that shit.
but it's like I just I feel like you don't have to go to college, I guess, if you research it the right way. And I also believe talent is definitely something you need as well. Like you need an ear
Yeah, yeah.
for good music, obviously. But I was so persistent with trying to just make music, man. You know what I mean? Like the
Hmm.
mixing, the match. I just wanted to pretty much just do everything myself without having to like go and hire people. Not because I'm cheap, but just because I wanted the bragging rights in a sense.
No, no, I got you. I
Um,
got you. I can't
yeah,
afford the shit. That's what I
but
learned.
but that too, yeah, it's like it's extremely expensive,
Hmm.
But there's that quote as well. Like if you want it done right and you want it
Hmm.
done your way, just do it yourself.
100%, man. 100%.
So yeah, dude, it was just basically a really long timeline, and I would always say it to Nick, like it's all trial and error because me and him have like failed at so many things in music, whether it just be like trying to find um, just a good sound for the microphone,
Hmm.
or uh, yeah, just like getting good acoustics in the room, or like
100%, man.
it's just everything takes so much time. But I've been doing it for so long now. Like I'm
It's just
definitely at a point
where
where I'm
where
happy
it's
with
at.
it.
As far as like things taking, just like once it becomes that innate sense of just getting it done, bro. Especially when you're at the point where like you are producing it, you are putting these lyrics down, and I think it's like it's more fulfilling.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's because it's all me. It's
Hmm.
like everything came from scratch, basically from me, and it's cool. Like we were talking about, you said that you're gonna check out the last one that I did, that Dry Bones rap.
Hmm.
Um, it's also cool in a sense because like my brother, who he's a beat producer as well, I inspired him along the way
Hmm.
to start making beats, and he ended up getting really good at it. So like it's really cool also to like work with other people that uh, do this kind of stuff as well. So
Hmm.
like on that project, the Dry Bones rap, I think like I hit up my brother just because I wanted something different. Because sometimes like I'll try to make a beat for something and I can't. And like I just can't get any inspiration from what I am trying to lay down.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like so I hit up my brother just to see what he could do for me. I'm like I want like a Spanish guitar like type of vibe. And man, he hit it out of the park, dude. I think it only took him like an hour to send it to me. But the way I looked at it, I was like, man, this is so cool. Like, I just hit up my brother, like my flesh and blood brother,
Mm-hmm.
to make me a beat from scratch. He did it. I listened to it. I put my own lyrics on it. Pretty much, him and I just made something together from scratch, from our bare hands.
Yep.
And then I ended up sending it over to Nick. He throws his heart down on there, and then we send it to Macro from Florida, who throws a hook on it. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, like this is just so cool. Like this is just a big uh just collaboration of just talented people, all just like
100,
on an
bro.
empty canvas, just throwing like just paint
I think
splatters
that's
all over the thing,
as far as
you know.
independent artistry, bro. That's where that's just putting it all together.
And it was just so spontaneous. Like because after or before I finalized the track, I was like, I'm not done here. I'm like, I want to add just one more thing at least to this. I was like, I could totally hear like a solo, um, like just a guitar solo at the end of this. So like, I literally went out of my way just to like hit up a buddy of mine that I used to work with like 6 years ago,
Mm.
who um, told me that he plays guitar. So like, I just ended up hitting him up, and I'm like, hey bro, can you like just shred on this for me? And dude, he got it to me in like a half hour and sent me this guitar solo over the beat, and I
Mm.
threw it at the end, and it made everything so it just put it all together, dude. It solidified the whole
Oh,
project,
now
and
I
I'm like,
really gotta
holy.
check it out. Nikki already threw it at me, asking me to check it out, but I'm gonna check it out.
it was just so cool because I just used all these talented people, and we just built something from the ground up, you know what I mean, and just
Hmm.
made this awesome project, uh, just based off of everybody's raw talent. So I looked at that, I'm just like, man, like making music is so cool, you know.
It's freaking amazing. It's freaking amazing. The Goku rap that I did with you, that was my first big project.
Exactly. Isn't it cool though, man? It's
Oh
like
hell yeah.
collaborations are so sweet, man. Because yeah, you could do anything. Like the possibilities are endless with collaborations. So it's like music is just so cool. Like I'm so glad that I make music because it's one of the most fulfilling things ever.
Oh, it's gotta be. Just and that's like how you just it's yours. You know what I mean? And I think as far as, independent to mainstream, that's one of the
Yeah,
biggest things is that don't nobody else own your shit. Like I can't get around that. I can't get around that as far as mainstream. Let's say, mainstream, they make good music, all that good shit. But the fact that you can have somebody on the track, you doing your thing and all of that, but you don't own it. I'm like, hmm.
exactly. Yeah,
Sits strange with me. Sits strange with me.
yeah. No, for sure.
How what was because I assume within the YouTube community, with the rappers, reactors, I've seen that you've done reactions. Like how was it going from one to one, like just from rapper to like I'm gonna start reacting to some stuff because like I started the YouTube thing reacting and then went to the rapping part. You did it the other way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, honestly, dude, the way that I kind of looked at that was another way to just kind of drive people over to my channel
Mm,
because I think one of the first reactions I did was just to my own like Waluigi stuff, just so that people could see my actual perspective
mm,
on like the project as a whole.
yeah.
So I thought that would have been cool just to like, show people. I mean, I guess it's weird in a sense, like he's reacting to his own song, but it's also the animation
Well, yeah,
that
I
I
don't
was
think it's weird for
kind of
people to
reacting
react to
to,
their
you
own
know?
stuff. You're not gonna get more in depth than the person telling you what it is.
Exactly, yeah. So that's another thing, and a lot of people, I feel were interested in that. So it's like I'm definitely not like a reaction channel, but I've done it.
Yeah.
Um, one really just to kind of like, yeah, welcome more people over to the channel because I know that it's definitely gotten me a lot more subscribers just because it's more personal
Yeah,
too,
yeah, definitely.
you know. So it's like I wish I could react to more stuff. Like I was gonna actually do a reaction to the Sonic,
It can get time
the
consuming.
first Sonic. Yeah, well, of course. Yeah. I mean, I like reacting to stuff too. Cause like yeah, like I've done one of the ciphers. I forgot which one it was. It was like a Pokemon cipher. I think that might have been like one of the only ones that I reacted to that I wasn't a part of.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, yeah, like that's pretty much the only way I looked at it was just to kind of like give people my perspective on my work and like what they thought that I thought of the projects and whatnot. So to be honest, you'll probably see me do a reaction to the Sonic stuff just for that reason.
No, that'd be dope. That'd be dope because the Sonic stuff was cool. Like when I was reacting to it, like I was like, this gonna be a trilogy. I was like, because like just the way that the Waluigi stuff was, like they, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that might be a trilogy, but I think they might do a fourth one. I
Oh
think
yeah.
they have to confirm that to me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess we'll see, but yeah, that'll be a couple reaction videos for me to do. That's for sure.
Who would you say in the nerdcore community you would want to work with the most?
Uh, so I definitely want to work with um, DPS
Mm-hmm.
and Fable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and maybe that's maybe I'm just biased because I know that they produce all their stuff like I do, but I don't know, man. I just feel like obviously they're big artists, but like Fable, his production, oh my
Yeah,
god,
no,
dude, it's
it's.
like
Mm-hmm.
the way that his vocals cut through, man. Like he sounds like a straight up like radio artist. Like you could hear him on the radio.
Yeah.
Like his hooks, man. His I think it was after I dropped the Shy Guy song that he ended up following me on Twitter. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I think that I think that we got a project um, coming soon. I don't know exactly when, but you know maybe he'll be down for one. Him and DPS I think are the two guys at the top of the nerdcore community that I definitely want to work with.
Yeah.
I've wanted to work with Dizzy 8 was another one.
Yeah, he
His sound
nasty.
is really
He nasty.
yeah really
You
good.
heard
What's that?
Contrast?
Oh, Contrast. Yeah, he's another one. Yeah, I followed him on Twitter the other day. A couple people have told me that I should get on a track with him. I would definitely love that.
You know, he's another crazy one.
He's really popular.
He's another crazy one.
Yeah, I
But
would definitely love to work with him. I'm sure there's a lot, dude. For some reason, like whenever I'm on the spot thinking of people, I can never like think of them all.
oh yeah,
But
you never gonna think of them all. You know, not when you're trying to say them. I definitely get that. I definitely get that. But like I agree with you just as far as like the guys who like I'll be looking at because I've said in several reactions that like Fable and Fast Snaps kind of hold. They both hold the first place spot for me as far as like music goes in nerdcore. Um, Dan Bull's another one for me. Like he's a lyrical animal.
oh yeah, yeah, his stuff is crazy, man. Yeah, he's another one for sure.
Yeah. So like with the music stuff going and progressing how it has been for you, especially hopping into nerdcore and getting that kind of growth. Give me a little wide angle of where you see yourself in like 5 years doing this.
Damn, 5 years, huh? Um, we'll say in 5 years, I'll 100% be making a living off of this. There's no
Mm-hmm.
doubt about it. Based off of like just the numbers
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm projected even to make next year. Oh yeah, I'll 100% be um, making a living off of this. And I mean, it's hard to say where I will be 100% because you know wrestling is obviously still not it's not off the table. So
Yeah, yeah.
anything can happen because for some reason the way that my life goes, dude, like there's always just like a weird thing that like a weird cool thing that will just happen out of nowhere, and like that's my life for the time being. Or like spontaneously, like last week I was just in Florida, for wrestling tapings for that wrestling company on
Mm-hmm.
TNT. Like I didn't find out about that until I think it was like a Friday night. It was like midnight or something. They're like, "Hey, can you be in Florida on Monday?" I'm like, "Okay," It's like, "All right, this is what I'm doing now." It's
Yeah.
always like every week is different. I never know what I'm going to be doing, but it's just based off of the consistency um, with what I'm doing now. Like I know my money's going to be good. I know that uh, yeah, my family's going to be good. Like everything's going to be awesome. And I mean that's just the goal, man. Like just be happy with the family,
Mm-hmm.
give them an amazing life,
That's a goal.
and
Yeah,
just
that's a
do as many
goal.
cool things as possible, dude, because yeah, I mean that's all I want to do. I just want to be able to like look back one day and just be like, this is all the cool stuff that I did,
Mm-hmm.
and I lived an amazing life.
I got you. Sidebar question. I just thought about this because I saw it in my comments once. It said the why the Kevin Bennett.
Oh, all right, this is a good one. All right, so I'm the Kevin Bennett because, well, one, Kevin Bennett is a pretty common name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of Kevin Bennetts in the world. Main reason that I changed my name from Kevin Bennett to the is because there was another Kevin Bennett artist who was a country artist. For some reason, every time that I would post like one of my songs like to Spotify, or I think I was using CD Baby to like
Mm-hmm.
upload my or distribute my songs, and it was going under his artist page.
Oh wow.
So like I had this song. It was called House of Pain, and it had like thousands of streams, dude. And it was saying that it was his like first um most like popular song. It was like the number one on his page. So like I like emailed
Uh huh.
uh, CD Baby and Spotify and all this, and I'm like, that's not his song. Like it's not coming up under my name. And then they're like, oh, just give it time.
Give it
It'll
time. What the?
yeah, give it time. Like let it process. Like no, it was always under his page like
Yeah.
forever. So like I ended up having to delete the single and just making like a new artist page. So I'm like, you know what? I'm the Kevin Bennett because I know that there's no other like wrestler rapper Kevin Bennett anyways,
Uh huh.
and I don't want my music to be under this guy's shit anymore. So
Yeah.
I was
That's. I think it's like fucky that he didn't do something about that. You know.
exactly, yeah. So like sometimes even to this day, like on Facebook, I get tagged in I don't it's like a country music festival like show that this guy does every year, and they always tag me like I'm gonna be there. I'm like, that's not
He's like,
me.
this is
Like
not my lane.
exactly. Like his music's good and everything. Like I've
Mm,
never actually talked to the guy. Like I've listened to some of his stuff, but it's like when my song gets thrown up there and like it's his most popular song, then
yeah,
like
it's like, well, bro, it's like I know you see that. You ain't gonna say nothing.
right. So that's pretty much where it came from because like I know it could probably sound like cocky or whatever, like oh he's the Kevin Bennett, but no, it's really just because like it can be a common name, and there's
Uh,
plenty Kevin Bennetts that do that, but there literally is only one Kevin Bennett like myself, so I had to put the in front of it, and to be honest, I don't think that I'll be the Kevin Bennett forever. I would definitely like to just switch back to Kevin Bennett, but I think that I have to like be a little bit more established,
mm-hmm.
and you know, maybe when I hit like 100,000 subscribers or
Yeah,
something, I could just be Kevin Bennett. And maybe they'll just throw my songs on my own artist page
nothing but a matter of time.
without exactly, yeah. So until then, it's the Kevin Bennett.
All right, man, I got you. So we about to close it out here on this one, but before we go, uh, what had struck me interesting is how you were talking about the bigger artists you want to work with and things like that. And I feel like with every artist, no matter how small they are, how big they are, whatever, they have had people they want to work with. So you being where you're at, an artist that want to work with you, what would you say to any smaller or beginning artist that would want to work with you? Like, what are you looking for when it comes to something like that? Say a smaller artist came to you with, you want to do this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, talent
Well, yeah.
is a factor. Yeah, like for example, like I'll use Macro as an example. Like I think he only has couple hundred like subscribers or anything like, or on YouTube. He doesn't have like crazy numbers or anything. But like the dude, he was just so good and unique, and like I have never heard anybody like him in nerdcore at all. I was
Hmm.
like, I need this guy on my songs, and I need him now before he blows up, type of
Nah,
stuff.
that's how I felt about
you know,
McGuire's ass.
exactly. McGuire too. He's another one. Like they just have unique voices, man. Like they're just so good at what they do. So it's like I know like collaborating, um, like it's good to collaborate with people that can offer you something that, as far as like, maybe a couple more fans like from their channels or
Hmm.
um like obviously you want to benefit off of like the collaboration, but then um like you I mean, I feel like if they have something to offer, then that's all that really matters. Like talent is just big with me, pretty much. Like Macro, dude, he's like one of the most talented artists I've ever heard in nerdcore, and
Uh
like I'll throw him on as many songs as possible, and
huh.
like hopefully I can help him, as much as possible. But
Yeah.
he's just helped me make some serious dope ass tracks, So,
Yeah.
um,
From what I've heard, he's yeah, he's in there.
yeah. So I mean, honestly, I pretty much I want to work with people that yeah, that are unique and can bring something different to the table, you know what I mean? uh just pretty much um
No, no, I
like
got you.
I would love to help as people as possible too, like and definitely like put a light on people
Definitely, I
and
got your
get them
back.
more listeners, and
At the
you know
same
what I
time, it's
mean?
like,
So it's not like you need like a certain amount of subscribers or anything like that. But I guess it depends. Like
well, so you got
if
to
you're
be bringing
terrible at making
something.
music,
Like if it's all else, like if you're terrible, if you're not good at making music, and you don't really got that many subscribers, and it's like the chances ain't gonna be looking too great. But like it's just
exactly.
within the realm of reality. You know what I mean? Within the realm of reality speaking. Because you have put, like I said, I think McGuire got Cam. Cam is the one who put me on to McGuire, and
Yeah,
from the first reaction, I was like, so we're gonna work together here soon before you do crazy stuff.
exactly. Yeah, he just brings something different to the table. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And yeah, like I don't want to sound, yeah, like a jerk. Obviously, that's
Well,
where.
it's like I
But
said, realm of reality, realm of reality.
exactly. So yeah, if it's like super low, subscribers, plus you're not very good at making music, um, yeah, then the chances are a little bit slimmer than usual, because I've had so many people hit me up to do collaborations, but it's like I feel I feel like if we can't benefit from each
Hmm.
other, I guess,
You
then
want your time to mean something.
exactly. So if it's only like me helping you in a sense, then yeah, like I don't think it's necessary to do really.
No, no, I feel you.
Um,
Which makes me once again appreciate you hopping onto the Goku track. So there's that.
yeah, no, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, that was a really awesome track that we did.
Yeah, no, that was
And I'm
that.
glad that I get.
That's on the number one on my Spotify right now. Like that one
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah, I'm glad to have been able to open up on that track too and set the tone.
Oh, I appreciate it, dude. For you and me seeing you, I said we was about to sign off. We gonna sign off here in a second. But for me, when I seen you, it
You're
was
good.
with the Dizzy 8 contest, and I was looking through the entries and I saw yours and I was like, ooh, okay. So we gonna have to grab the pen and really write some shit. For realsies. Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is that you can really find like you can find talent in those contests.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, like that's definitely like a good way to scout some people, and I think that that's where Nikki, because Nikki is actually the one who kind of found Mac, and then put me on the Mac.
Hmm.
So, and I'm thinking, I'm like, you're right, dude. Like doing these contests is like
That's the only thing I
totally
think
like the
nerdcore
best
lacks.
way.
That's the only thing I think nerdcore lacks. I wish more people did contests like that in nerdcore. Dizzy's the only one so
Yeah,
far.
because yeah, I mean, we know each other now. Um, who else was in there? Like Jamar Rose,
Hmm.
he was another one. It's like, yeah, they definitely go somewhere, I
Oh
feel
yeah, I got
like.
because I got you and Jamar from the cipher as far as asking y'all to work with me on stuff. Like definitely.
Exactly, yeah. So I feel
I
like,
said
yeah,
cipher.
if
I
more
meant
people
contest.
did those, yeah, if more people did those, then I feel like more people would, yeah, discover more talent. So, yeah, those are definitely good for the scene.
Definitely, definitely. But all right, man. I think we got a lot from the man over here. The Kevin Bennett. Remember his name, not the other guy. The the Kevin
Yeah.
Bennett. Appreciate you, man. Is there anything you want to say? Anything you got going on? You want the people to know?
Just stick around with me on my YouTube, man. Like I try every other week.
Whoa, whoa. That part where you said
Um,
I tried to, and then you said something that cut out right there. What was that?
I try to get a video out every
Okay.
other week. So yeah, I mean, just subscribe to the channel, the Kevin Bennett on YouTube. We're still on Spotify, Apple Music. Oh, and Twitter too. I made a new Twitter, um, and I'm at about like 1,600 followers, and my engagement isn't the greatest. So if you could go and follow me and like a couple tweets, help the brother out, man.
Oh man, all right, y'all. It's been your boy. And you got Kevin Bennett over here doing his thing. Make sure you like, subscribe over there. Make sure you like, subscribe over here. And we'll catch y'all next one, fam. Peace.